Hello folks, hope you guys are having a great Saturday night. What am I doing? Probably the same thing that a lot of other married guys are doing. I am staying home, nerding out on trying to crank up some YouTube videos and make some progress on my wargaming stuff, while the wife is out with the girls. She is on a well-deserved girls' night out at what passes for the best Mexican restaurant in the great city of Vienna, Austria, and I am at home. The kid is put to bed. So it's time to get my fingers super glued together and covered in paint. Anyways, what I thought I'd do is crank out some videos. And the first one I'm going to do is just a quick update on the Warhammer 40K side. If you guys saw my hobby update a couple videos back, but I wanted to give a quick update on what's been going on and what my plans are. So if you'll remember, I said I needed to work on my Vindicator tank for my Imperial fists. Well, over the week when I was feeling a little under the weather, I got it finished. And what I'm going to try to do is switch my camera here to super macro. So here's the tank. I had said before that I really wanted to go weathered. I don't think things that stay in combat tend to stay clean. And I definitely achieved that. So I was pretty pleased with how it turned out. I think it may have gone a little bit too dirty, but maybe that's because the fist normally looks so bright yellow. But what I did was I painted it up the way you saw it before, just touched up some of the details on here, and then chipped it up just with some, what I did was it doesn't show up here that well, but I either sponged on using my handy dandy, you know, the stuff you get out of the pluck foam. Took that and just dabbed on gray, and then for like chipping down to what could be a primer level, and then inside there, like you can shows up all here, just took some it might have been chainmail, I think, the old chainmail, and filled it in there. And so chipped it up pretty well. Obviously try to have more chipping on the front here than on the back or on the top, because that's where you get shot at more. And then a combined wash of whatever Agrax, Earthshade, and Nuln oil. So just kind of covered the whole vehicle with that, let that fill in a lot of the gaps and things. And it definitely got it dirty. I mean, then what you do is I just took a Q-tip, a cotton bud to my friends and colleagues in the UK and maybe in Europe, and just rolled it over the flat surfaces so it didn't pool funny. So it just got in the cracks. And I think it came out looking pretty well. It definitely looks like, I hope that it's on a world where it's muddy and dirty and rainy, and I know that's what my car looks like. Minus the scratches, unless my wife's been driving. Don't tell her I said that. And then what I did was, with my airbrush, I just took some... Where's that gray? Where's that gray? Where's that gray? See, Mechanicus Standard Gray, just a dark gray. I don't know if you remember the Land Raider I did. Well, actually, it's right over here. I'll put this, because I got to talk about the other part of my 40K project here, which involves this. You can see here, I just smeared the mud everywhere, and I didn't want to get this much mud on there. So what I did on this was I airbrushed the gray along the bottom unevenly, so it looked like, oops, center the camera, Jason, that it had gotten muddy and dried and muddy and dried, and then put comparatively less mud on the bottoms. So just like it had been unwashed for a long time, like a lot of our cars look during the winter. So you can see it here, and then just I have some mud on there. The one thing I didn't really like how it turned out, I've seen a lot of people do it. I wanted to have like where the, excuse me, it's not a shock absorber, but where the pistons here for the shield, the plow, whatever you want to call it, I wanted to have it discolored, like as it went in and out You know, go from darker to lighter here. And I tried doing it with some washes. I think I just need to get some of the oil wash that a lot of people use. It didn't come out bad, but that was the part I wanted to leave it shiny and kind of gunky a little bit. But all in all, really pleased with how the decals, the transfers, just to translate again, turned out. I like how the vision blocks as well. The only thing I'm not keen on, and maybe it doesn't show up here, for some reason this came out a lot more yellow than everything else. Maybe I spent more time with it on the airbrush, but on the whole, very pleased with this. It's very dirty, but it's just been in combat longer than most things. So there's that. And so moving on to the other part of my project, I said it was going to be a, you know, mostly Imperial Fist, but I had started Black Templar and didn't really like what GW did with them. Well, I've been talking with a buddy of mine. Ooh, I can turn it off. Ooh, let's see. I can turn it off the macro. Ah, there we go. And he's been working on a HRUD project where he's using, he's making space rats for me. And he's challenging me. He can go up, he's just churns out the models, a lot of character to him and things. But he can go up to like 3,000 points. Now with that Vindicator, I've got 900 points done. And some change if I wanted to, you know, play with the loadouts and things. So I'm kind of, you know, I've got a plan out for about 2,500 points of joint Imperial Fists and Black Templar. Well, he's been talking a little trash, and he said he's ready to play. And I've got some Templar lined up, and I also got my airbrush out going again. So what I've decided to do is have Black Templar be allies, and I'm going to have 2 squads of 16. Two Crusader squads of 16 each, and a Land Raider Crusader. So I got a good deal on some the new kits off the new Space Marine Tactical Squad kit off eBay, and so I've got a bunch of these guys put together, and I kind of went all out Black Templar style and just stuck these guys up. So I got a bunch of these guys, and this may not be the most competitive of builds, but you know, obviously there's options in there to. Is that all of them? Yeah, that's all of them. So here's just the regular squad guys, and you can either load them out with bolt guns, or you can do the bolt pistol and chainsword for the extra attack. And so what else are you going to do when you're a Black Templar and you're going to go after some space rats? You're going to cut them up into little tiny pieces with your chainsword. So again, not the most competitive builds, but I figure if I can get this Land Raider up close and can disgorge a bunch of guys. So I started with the airbrush, not quite done, but like on this guy here, I magnetized him so he can either have, of course, what would your special option be? A flamer. Let me switch it back here to the macro setting. There we go. So obviously not done yet, but he can either have a flamer, or where'd the guy's arm go? Clink. Or a chainsword. So I've got this guy done, and then I have those, remember the old Sword Brethren, GW nerfed them. So I've got like 10 of these guys hanging around, all unpainted. So these are now going to be essentially sergeants. So I picked the one, of course, close combat with, again, unpainted, but just partially dry brushed lightning claws. So he's going to go in there, and you can have one dude in there with a power weapon. So I picked the power sword. And what I also had a bunch just hanging around were the upgrade kits to make them look like Black Templars. So they've got the special, the Black Templar shoulder pads, or you know, whatever those pieces of armor are. And then some have got the man pajamas on in the front. And then, of course, what you have to have in there are the you have to have your junior guys. You could call these Overwatch fodder, but these are the guys in training. So I've got 10 of these guys, and I'm going to have one. Well, it'd be helpful if it was on the thing. One. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, not with bolt guns, but with. There we go. Keep remembering to take it on and off macro. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2, 5, 8, 11, 13, and so for these guys. And then what you have to have, because of course it's the Templar. Let me switch this back. This is kind of a pain in the butt. Is a reclusiarch. I will not call it a chaplain because they're not chaplains in Black Templars. They are reclusiarchs. So this guy, haven't done really much with him. I got to go back in with my airbrush and do the shoulder pads and everything. So he's going to go there and give these guys hatred. Oh, nope. One more guy. So 5 of these guys. And so I've only done a test model for one of them. And haven't done the base, but this is pretty much how they're going to look. Really pleased. I got one of my newer airbrushes, which does detail work a lot better. And I am going to chip this guy up some, so he kind of matches the Imperial fists and his own Land Raider. That wouldn't make sense to him pop out all pretty when the Land Raider's trashed. But this is the idea. It's tough to do Black Templar just because they're all black, but I don't know if the gray highlights will show up. And but pleased with how this came out. Again, I'm trying to do a trade-off between quick painting and having it decent looking, so I think this was a good trade-off. So eventually I'll finish this squad. So I will have flick. Okay, here we go. I'll have 2 of 16. I'm thinking about, and there's the guy's other arm. My plan is to do for the Templar is I think I may just do, and I think this might be too many headquarters, I'm not sure. But I have 1 Crusader with just a chaplain and these guys, again, all kitted out for close combat, and then have the other one with either the Emperor's Champion or if I'm feeling really gutsy, High Marshal Helbrecht, and then he can pop his feet, which essentially gives the Templar a wall. They get fleet and hatred for 1 turn, and just have this be the close combat force because my Imperial fists are looking to be a very shooty part. I've got a Vindicator, a Thunderfire Cannon, the Centurion Devastators, and one other special thing that's I just ordered, taking advantage of Forge World's free shipping, so that'll be in the mail here shortly. Basically, they're very either going to be elite and heavy support heavy. So these guys are going to have to be my kind of assault force. So I just want to do a really quick video, and I will post some updates once I have them on these guys, but I'm going to try to get cranking on the Bretonnians too. In fact, I'm going to be doing another video right after this, talking about some of the decals I got from my Bretonnians. So hope your Saturday night's treating you well. Hope you're as wild and crazy as I am. Again, don't let the super glue fumes get to you too much, and happy wargaming.